Hello, I'm Jennifer. Have you ever attended an event in which the presentation and material was controversial or perhaps inappropriate? Thanks for visiting Toastmasters International. Since 1924, we've helped more than 4 million people gain the confidence to communicate in any situation. This video is part of a series of Toastmasters time-tested tips that will help you look at a few key ways to manage controversial topics with respect and care. First, we'll begin with knowing your audience and choosing your topic. Then we'll review a few ways to structure your speech so that it has impact, even if the subject matter is sensitive. And we'll wrap up our time together with the importance of preparing yourself to handle the questions of the controversial subject that you've chosen. Let's start by reviewing a few thoughtful approaches to choosing your topic with care. Whether you've decided to talk about sex, religion, or politics, giving a speech about a controversial subject can be challenging. For this reason, it's important to know your audience so that you don't offend them. Begin by respectfully factoring in who they are, such as their age or gender, and in some cases, their beliefs. This way, your message will have a better chance of being well received and understood. When it comes to presenting a sensitive topic, research is paramount. It is important to thoroughly investigate the facts to legitimize your point. Mention a cited source or two to strengthen your credibility. As you prepare your speech, be upfront with the audience to avoid shocking or offending them with your sensitive topic. Make sure that the title and the description of your speech represent your topic. This way, the audience will be prepared for information that may be sensitive to some. Now that we've reviewed the importance of knowing your audience, we'll move on to the various presentation types for controversial subjects. The first step is to decide on the type of presentation you want to deliver. Will it be educational, informational, or personal? Select an approach before you begin writing. Also, make certain that the language you choose to describe a person, situation, or event is tactful. One of the fastest ways to discredit yourself is to use expletives, overtly sexual language, or stereotyping of any kind. When it comes to working with images and props, keep in mind that, much like language, what you choose can either reinforce your point or turn off the audience. It's always a good idea to avoid images and props that are shocking. If you're in doubt about your speech or what's appropriate, simply ask a respected friend or a colleague. And finally, let's talk about preparing for questions and answers. After you've finished your speech, thank the audience for their time and for listening to a sensitive but important topic. Now it's time for the audience to ask questions and for you to respond. No matter how many Q&As you've participated in, there's nothing quite like delivering a controversial subject and then asking the audience to share their questions or opinions. Try to keep in mind, the energy behind the audience's feedback often reflects the energy that you exuded. For instance, if you took a more aggressive stance toward your subject, be prepared for agitated responses. Remember, controversial topics often bring out positive and negative reactions in your audience. Make sure that your responses are respectful. Also, it's a good idea to develop a list of possible questions ahead of time that you anticipate that your audience may ask, and then make certain that you are prepared to answer them. Also, controversial topics may stir up emotions, so be prepared and don't take the audience's comments personally. Be understanding. Take their feedback as information. The way the audience interacts with you will let you know if your topic had a negative impact or positively challenged their beliefs. Incorporate these tips and techniques, and in no time, you'll be able to present controversial topics with ease. For more information on delivering a controversial speech, please visit a Toastmasters club. Find a location near you at www.toastmasters.org.